Does Daniel believe that executing those who openly leave Islam will make humans happier? Does he think 21st century sociology and psychology agree?
Yeah, so every community punishes defectors. Every community punishes defectors, and this is part of preserving community. I mentioned the example of how liberals are the most brutal in terms of punishing defectors and apostates from liberalism. They have created this colonial regime where they were assassinating anyone who resisted their British or their French or their Dutch rule. So this is something where we even notice to this day of how the United States, even with this recent political election, presidential election, there are a lot of cracking down on speech, a lot of cracking down, a lot of people, dissenters in prison, and labeling them as terrorists and extremists. This is how speech is cracked down upon within even current day America. This is something very typical and very usual within all societies. Again, read Stanley Fish, there's no such thing as free speech, and Islam is no different. The thing is that the modern secular state has this massive control grid. You have literally a social credit system in Europe now, in China, that completely controls people at an individual level. And that's how social cohesion and order is brutally enforced. But in Islam, you have organic social order based on shared belief, on shared values, on family, on community, and that creates social cohesion because people naturally don't want to harm others who are in their community. But if people are apostating and leaving and blaspheming, then that threatens the social cohesion of Muslim society, and that's why there has to be penalties and punishments on defectors. But in substance, this is no different than any other community in history, and even the so-called modern civilized West. It's just that the modern civilized West has this massive control grid because they've wiped out the family relations, the organic relations with community, and all that has been wiped out in favor of this monstrous control grid, social credit system, surveillance state that we're all suffering under.
You got it. And thank you very much. Want to mention, folks, I think I already mentioned it earlier, but want to mention it again. It's